Hi, everyone. Want to break down some big news that just came in concerning the Buffalo Police Department. Maki Becker joining me here. This is really huge news. Tell me what you know.
Okay, so sources are telling me that the acting mayor, Chris Scanlon, has told Joseph Gramaglia, who has been the Buffalo Police Commissioner since 2022, that he's moving in a different direction and will no longer serve as the Buffalo Police Commissioner.
That's a big move, right? I mean, this is a new administration, and now we're going to have a new head of the Buffalo Police Department after what's been a huge 3 years. If you look back at it, right? 2022, when he came in right before May 14th. So he's had
That's
to deal
right.
with that. Crime numbers have gone down. I mean, the impact for Gramaglia here can't be understated, I don't think.
Absolutely. No, he has been a leader who has emphasized what he calls evidence-based policing. A lot of his work all goes down to data, and they've been really focused on bringing gun violence down. And that really has happened. Now, we saw a huge rise during the pandemic, right? But in the years since, those numbers have come down. Just last week, we got the latest numbers on shootings and homicides. And what's interesting, homicides number, in terms of homicides, there was one less this year compared to last. And that was already a big drop, right? So staying steady in terms of homicides, that's very important. Also shootings. The shootings across the city down, I believe it was 11%. Significant numbers, things that people were happy to see. You also saw the clearance rate of homicides go way, way up. They were making arrests. Now, clearance is a little tricky because it doesn't necessarily mean it was this homicide that happened in 2024 was solved that year.
Right.
There could be old cases too, but that's what happens when you start solving cases. So this is a sea change. Now, the commissioner always serves at the whim of the mayor. It is up to the mayor to appoint. I haven't heard yet who the new commissioner might be. So that'll be something to look for.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. You might be wondering, well, what happens now? This feels so sudden. So what next?
So my understanding is that this isn't like he's fired. He's still within the police department in terms of Gramaglia. And then it is up to the mayor to pick somebody. And that's something we'll be looking for. There are also other positions. There are deputy commissioners and other positions like that. We'll look to see what happens. But this is big. Gramaglia has been with the police department for more than 30 years.
Yeah.
And he has served in so many different positions, from just being a patrol cop all the way up to he was head of homicide. I believe he was on the dive team at one point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
know
and
that.
he was a deputy commissioner before he became commissioner. And it's it's going to be very different.
Yeah, we've seen a number of police commissioners over the years. How does Gramaglia compare to other commissioners you've seen in the past?
Yeah, so I've been a reporter in Buffalo since 2005, so I have seen. He's very much about evidence-based policing. So the data, really data-driven, very specific. They did these micro hotspots where they would find the places where there were shootings or reports of shootings, and they would send what they call directed patrols, and they would just send a police car there, and they would park, and the cops would walk around that neighborhood. They wasn't, with the idea of being present at the places where there's gun violence or
Right.
the potential for gun violence. He's also really open. I think he gave a lot of press conferences. He was very, very good to, I think, a lot of the media in terms of getting information. If you needed data, if you needed something explained, he was there. And I think a lot of us know him, right, because of that.
Yeah.
So that is, and he was more open than I think anyone has been in a long time.
Feels like a turning point in Buffalo right now. Obviously, with what's going on in City Hall, having Mayor Byron Brown step down, acting Mayor Chris Scanlon step in, and now all of a sudden, boom, here's another big change. Do you think that people in the city are going to have like a case of whiplash, or what's going on here?
I don't know. I mean, I do wonder how much people know who their police commissioner is.
Right.
I think people know their mayor. But, his face has been out there. People do know, people have seen him. He does press conferences. He talks to the media. He's out there doing events with the public. He's also, he's currently I believe, the president of the Major Chiefs Association,
Oh, wow.
which is a large national organization. And he does go to all these like national, policing and crime prevention conferences all the time. He's very, very on top of things, wants to do all these, innovating what they're doing within the police department.
Yeah, I talked to him a bunch when I was doing a story about car thefts. That was a big deal with the Kia boys and what was going on, and a lot of victims out there suffering and dealing with people coming in and stealing their cars and breaking in and smashing their windows. And that was something that he was really passionate about. And he put together this entire plan. You've probably seen the Erie County Sheriff's helicopter flying around.
Absolutely.
And that was a huge deal of, having to deal with a problem and manage it. And like we were talking about all the stats and stuff, I think that's one of the bigger things that comes out of his career.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he would target these things. Gun violence was a huge part of it. The Kia thefts, that just exploded in Buffalo. And I think it was a huge frustration for him. And they did tackle it. They found ways, and it has gone down. You're not seeing the Kias and Hyundais, being stolen. You still have stolen cars, but it's nothing. That volume has come way down.
So again, a little unclear as to what exactly happens next and when things happen, but we expect them to unfold here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and again, this isn't, the mayor can do this. The police commissioner is not elected. It's not a union position. When you're a commissioner, you serve at the whim of the mayor. So that is what has happened.
Maki, there's going to be a ton to follow here. I think there's going to be a lot that comes out of this. Of course, you'll keep following it for us. So make sure you stay here with us on WKBW.com and the WKBW app.